The PlayStation Store is running a wide array of digital deals right now. A lot of games are on sale across a wide variety of sales that they're running. In this video, I want to take a look at some of these super cheap games under the price of $5. Some of these games go under $2, so let's just get right into it. And the first one I want to mention off the top is Just Cause 3. It is 85% off for $2.99. Alternatively, you can pick up Just Cause 3 XXL Edition for $4 and change, and that'll include some additional content. Just Cause 3 was a game that when it came out back in 2015 had a wealth of performance issues. A lot of that has been tightened up, and now you're paying $3 for the game, 5% of the original cost, so it's a lot more palatable of a pickup. Don't go into it expecting something with riveting characters or incredible storytelling. No, Just Cause 3 is a game that if you want to jump into a chaotic open world where you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, blow up whatever the hell you want, have a couple drinks, Just Cause 3 is the type of game that you don't have to take too seriously. You can just jump in, have some fun, very action-oriented, a lot of explosions, and it's a lot of fun. I think for $3, it's a very good pickup. Next up, we have Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It is 80% off for $3.99. It should be noted that this is playable through EA Play if you decide to sign up for that subscription service. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is an interesting game in the sense that it was probably one of the most disappointing games of this generation, given that Mirror's Edge from 2008 is a game that people look back on very, very fondly. It's one of those games that it didn't sell incredibly well, but people look back on it as one of the best games of last generation, or 2 generations ago at this point. And Catalyst was a follow-up title, it was a prequel, and it just wasn't at the level of the original. It's still an enjoyable game, like that parkour gameplay is still there, and it does have great visuals, and for $4, if you go into it not expecting anything amazing, you're gonna have a good time with Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and for $4, I think it's a really good pickup. Next up, Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions Evolved is down to $4.94. If you are a fan of shoot-'em-ups, Geometry Wars is as good as it's gonna get. Maybe not the best, absolute best shoot-'em-up that's ever been released, but Geometry Wars is pretty damn good, and I put so much time into Geometry Wars 2. Geometry Wars 3 takes it up. Visuals are great in the sense of it has great particle effects, great colors, and very, very vibrant look to it as well. Again, if you want a quality shoot-'em-up, this is a pretty solid one for twin-stick shooters. This is pretty good. Again, under $5 at $4.94. Next up, we have Injustice Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition for $4.99. Now, truth be told, Injustice 2 is a considerable improvement upon Injustice, but Injustice still offers quite a bit of fun, and again, it's $4.99, includes a ton of additional content, and it is a pretty good deal. I'm not huge into playing fighting games competitively these days, but Injustice does offer just a game that is super accessible even if you're a casual player like me, and for $4.99, if you're looking for a fun fighting game to pick up on the cheap, I think this is a solid one. Next up, we have a Limbo, which is 75% off for $2.49. Playdead's breakout title, Limbo, was a tremendous platformer that's been released on pretty much every platform imaginable, and I imagine most of you guys have it in some form, but if you don't have it on the PlayStation 4, go check it out. Super dark game, super eerie, and yeah, one game that I think everybody should play, especially at $2.49. Following up from Playdead's Limbo, I highly recommend you also play Inside. That is 75% off for $4.99. Inside, in my opinion, is just as good, if not, dare I say, a bit better than Limbo. Inside is once again a very dark and atmospheric game, and it's once again a game that really absorbs you into the world. It just is such a great game, and another game that has elevated the profile of Playdead. While I don't think Inside has gotten quite the acclaim that Limbo has had from a mainstream standpoint, it's still a fantastic game, and again, I would say it's just as good, dare I say even better. $4.99 is a great pickup. Next up, we have Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. This is down to $4.99, 90% off. If you are a fan of that Edo period of Japan and you are in for a tactics title, Shadow Tactics is awesome. The presentation and visuals in this game, I think, are stunning. Yes, this is a game that's probably better suited for PC, but it works pretty well on the DualShock 4 controller as well. It's gotten incredible reception, and For $4.99, I just think it's a great pickup. It has quite a bit of content as well, so you'll be in this game for quite a while. And again, I think the colors in this game, the visuals are so good, and I'm not big on tactics games. This is one genre that I'm not super into when it comes to strategy games, tactics games, but Shadow Tactics is one that I got super into, and I had a great time with it. And at $4.99, again, a really good pickup. Alright, next up we have Metro Last Light Redux. This is down to $2.99. You can pick up the Metro Redux collection. That's $5.99. That'll include 2033 and Last Light, but considering we're keeping it under $5, Last Light Redux, here we have it at $2.99. Excellent first-person shooter. Another game that really accentuates its atmosphere and does a really good job incorporating a lot of various presentation nuances to really get you absorbed into the world of the game. The narrative is incredibly strong. I thought the music was great, at least the sound direction, I should say. The sound direction in this game is excellent. Visually, obviously a stunning game, one that I initially played the original game on PC, and it took PCs to its knees. And this version on PS4 is quite good, much better than the PlayStation 3 outing for Metro Last Light. I would recommend the collection if you haven't played Metro 2033, but just picking up Last Light for $3 is such a good deal, and in my opinion, Last Light is the best of the entire franchise, but that's just one man's opinion. You can make an argument for 2033, you can make an argument for Metro Exodus if you do want. But this for $3, excellent pickup. Alright, next up we have Trine Enchanted Edition. This is 80% off for $2.99. Man, Trine is one of the more popular indie games, so to speak. I mean, it's spawned into a bunch of subsequent titles. We've had Trine 2, Trine 3, Trine 4, and Trine itself is a pretty enjoyable side-scrolling action platformer. It has some puzzles in it. Visuals, I think, are great, and you can play the game with a couple of friends if you do want it. The co-op play works pretty well, and again, for $2.99, I think this is a great pickup. I would recommend picking up all the Trine games. I believe Trine 2 is down to $3 as well, so you can check that out after you play through Trine 1. Next up, we have Valiant Hearts The Great War. This is down to just $1.94. I believe this is a new low for Valiant Hearts The Great War. Don't quote me on that, but this is a tremendous game by Ubisoft. A pretty emotional game as well. I think if you just look at the game, maybe emotional isn't the first thing you'll think of when you look at Valiant Hearts The Great War, but it absolutely is that. It's a historical World War I title, and it was one of those games by Ubisoft. At the time, a lot of people were touting that Ubisoft needed to put out new IPs, and then they put out this and Child of Light pretty close together, and this was just great. Has a great comic book look going on as well, and I would have said it's worth the full $14.99 when it originally came out at that price, but for $1.94, man, that is just so cheap that this might be the best deal, a part of the entire sales that Sony's running right now on the PlayStation Store. This cheap, highly recommended. Go check that out. You won't be disappointed at that. Next up, if you want another open world, no-nonsense title, Saints Row 4 Re-Elected offers that as well for $3.99. I remember when Saints Row went completely off the deep end with Saints Row the Third. Saints Row 4 follows up on that, and once again, you've got some chaotic gameplay here. Quite a bit of humor in it as well. Once again, much like Just Cause, I wouldn't go into it expecting to get incredibly engrossed into the narrative of the game, but if you're looking for zany, off-the-wall gameplay, Saints Row 4 is going to offer that in spades, and for $3.99, this is a great pickup as well. And on top of that, this version includes the base game and a bunch of DLC, weapons, vehicles, items, in-game items, so if you're into that, yeah, you get that as well for $4. Lastly, I want to mention a game that was a bit controversial when it came out in terms of quality, and that is Natural Doctrine. This is $2.99, 80% off. A lot of you guys probably don't even know Natural Doctrine. It's a game that was published by NIS America, JRPG. This was a game that I was really looking forward to, and look, if you spend $50 or $60, I believe it was $50 when it came out, you're probably going to be disappointed by Natural Doctrine, but guess what? It's down to $3, and it's a challenging strategy game with a relatively complicated combat system that, yeah, some people are going to be incredibly turned off by the combat system, but if you take your time and, learn to, really understand the combat system and the nuances of it, I think it's a very rewarding game. The story isn't anything incredible. It's fine and it's there, but yeah, it's one of those games that really has gotten lost in the shuffle over the last few years, and I understand why. It's not a standout game in a lot of instances, but for $3, I saw this and I was like, darn it, I want to mention this. And if you're a fan of JRPGs, if you want something a little bit unique, check out Natural Doctrine, but let me say, this game's visuals aren't anything to write home about. I mean, it looks like a PS2 game. It was a game that was released on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita, so keep your expectations in line on that front. But for $3, I think it's a unique enough game that's worth a checkout if you're into challenging JRPGs. But that's gonna wrap up this one. Again, total of 12 deals covered. All the links will be in the description box below. Super cheap games. There was even more games outside of this, like Doom 3's on sale. Saw that for $4.99, and there's a bunch of other games under the price of $5. So a lot of super cheap stuff right now. But that's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.